Hi guys, it's Finn. I have huge apologies. Thursday's upload was supposed to be about my 6th month post-op catch-up, and I was planning a big detailed video. I have not had time. I'm snowed under with uni work at the moment. I hand some things in next week which gives me some space, so I promise next Thursday will most definitely be a very detailed 6-month catch-up video about phalloplasty. Apologies, apologies, apologies. However, exciting today instead, what I thought I'd do. A lot of people have asked me to kind of explain what happens in phalloplasty in a vlog in the most simple terms that I can. So I'm going to attempt to do that with the help of my very good friend, Lammy Cat. Say hi, Lammy Cat. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, so I'm just going to explain this in layman's terms as much as I can. And of course there are very many different types of surgery. There are phalloplasty surgeries, there are meteoroideoplasty surgeries, there are different types of surgeries within those surgeries, there's different choices within those surgeries, there's different surgeons that do these surgeries in different ways. Over here in the UK it's done one way, abroad it's done another way entirely. So I can only talk to you about my experience of phalloplasty so far, what I've had done and what I should be having done at the next stage. So the surgery I had was radial forearm phalloplasty, and for that I used the forearm donor site. And here we have Lammy Cat, and he's nicely under and quite happy. What happens before any surgery starts is they take the skin from the donor arm in order to form the phallus. Now I will post a picture up of my arm before I had the lower surgery with all the areas marked out that are used for the graft. The first thing they will do is take 2 pieces of skin from that forearm. Okay, one of which is rolled into a very, very thin tube, like so. And for ease of explanation for this, I'm going to swap this thin tube for one I made earlier, a rolled straw. The second piece of skin rolls around that thin tube, so that you have your pee-pee hole within your penis ready, and there'll also be a little bit sticking out the end. Now, presently, Lammy Cat has a vagina, like so. This here is his clitoris, and his labia, and the vaginal opening. The newly crafted penis, with the pee hole, will go just above his clitoris, so his clitoris is just under the base of the penis there. You'll see that we have this straw sticking out. There's a reason for that. That goes through the skin and then comes out just under the clitoris by the labia. The reason for that is the urethral pipe is hooked up at the second stage, not the first. So after the first stage you'll be given a syringe and you'll be flushing through to keep all that clear, and it comes out underneath like this, just to keep it all fresh, clear and ready for the next stage. Okay, so with the labia, what they do, again this can happen different times for different people in surgery, they use one of the labia and then they have a little silicone ball to use as a testicle implant, and that goes inside the labia, it stretches it, and over time it drops. They don't do both at this stage because if you're having the pump device as an erectile device in a later stage, that will go in the other labia. At the moment everything else is left just as it is down there. At the same time as they take skin from your arm, they are also taking 2 nerves and an artery to give you sensation and blood flow. The main artery and the nerves get inserted into the penis before it's rolled up, obviously. Then one of the nerves goes through that penis and it comes out at the back of the clitoris hood, is connected that way, because then eventually you'll get erotic sensation because those nerves will regrow. The other side, it's hooked up and it comes out into your groin here, and it's attached to an abdominal muscle, again to give you sensation. And eventually over time all those nerves will reconnect and they'll be feeling all the way through the phallus, both sexual feeling and tactile feeling. So that's all that happens at first stage. All that happens, it's a lot that happens. Skin taken for Lammy's donor arm, crafted into make a phallus, 2 nerves taken to hook up to give sensation, 1 artery taken to provide blood flow, and 1 testicle implant put in. Okay, now Lammy Cat has returned for second stage of his surgery, and what happens there is, again this is an opt-in or opt-out, this is what I've chosen to have done. You'll have full hysterectomy, everything taken out from inside the womb, uterus, ovaries, everything removed. At the same time, they do a vaginectomy. Now, it's done differently over here. He uses a technique where he burns away the lining of the womb because it's felt to be less dangerous, it doesn't cause as much bleeding. Then when that is all done, the vagina is closed up. Okay? And obviously the wee pipe, the urethral hookup, is hooked up so you'll be able to stand to pee, although you have a catheter at this time and they gradually wean you off it. Also, what happens now is a small graft is taken from the side here and then used to make the penis head, the glands of the penis, because in stage 1 it's just a tube, so stage 2 is making it look very much more realistic and creating the glands. You have a choice here with the clitoris as well, and I'll put a link up to a video where I discuss the pros and cons about burying the clitoris. I'm still unsure on this one. So if you do choose to bury it, it gets just put under the skin. Obviously all this is closed up now, just under the phallus, and you can apparently still feel it and access it if you choose, or it's left out, it's stripped right back and it's just a little bit left out, but it's hidden underneath the phallus and behind the balls. So under here now you'll still only have one testicle, but everything else will be completely closed up. If you've chosen to leave the clitoris out, that will just be there hidden behind the balls. Again, only one testicle at this stage. Final stage, phalloplasty. I've been holding this up in the air, but obviously this is all very soft at the moment. I've chosen to have the erectile device with the pump. So what they will do, they create a little reservoir inside a cavity in your lower abdomen which has saline solution in it. That's then hooked up to these inflation devices. You usually have 1 or 2 depending on the girth you've got already. And then you have your second testicle here, and in this one will be the pump. And what that does, that pumps in and it gets erect because it will bring in all the saline solution, and then it's twisted to let it all back out again. And that's it in the final stage, just this new implant put in and the erectile device. And then you're done with a fully functioning phallus. So that was a very brief fly-by version of phalloplasty with the aid of a stuffed sheep. For a more medical view of how it's done and some information on other surgeries, I shall put a link at the bottom underneath here. I do hope that's helped. It's certainly been fun, hasn't it, Lammy Cat? Yes. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Next Thursday's upload will indeed be my 6-month post-op. Take care of yourselves, have a great weekend.